Hey, what's up guys? Midlife Adventurer here, also known as PPG Gorilla from the other YouTube channel. Anyway, today my buddy Dave and I are on a trial run on our adventure bikes. We took about a 145-mile round trip down to the Oak Creek campground along the Kissimmee River. So we're both relatively new to adventure motorcycle riding and camping off of our motorcycles. We're gearing up for a big trip next year. We're going to do the TAT Trans-America Trail all the way across the country. So we're just gearing up slowly, getting things together, learning what works and what doesn't. We've been watching a ton of YouTube videos, learned a lot from other guys and their experiences. I got to give a shout out to some of those guys. Wheeled Geezer, these two guys are chronicling their journey all the way across the TAT, one day at a time. They're on about day 30 now. We've been following along. Really learned a lot about the trail from those guys. The Bearded Grump, I really enjoy his content. Been watching him. Dork in the Road, he's got some really good content. Really goes into depth about the camping gear and the equipment that he uses. All that's been really helpful. So huge shout out to those guys. We appreciate it. Dave was born and raised here in Florida, so he knows all the back roads, dirt roads, shortcuts and everything. So I let him be the navigator of this trip and just followed along. Most of the roads we were on were paved but back roads. Some of the roads we were on were a little bit busier, but we managed to find a route around most of the really busy areas. We did have to pass through Sebring on the way over, but again, we took the back roads and kind of cut through there. Most of our riding lately has been just around on the streets, the rural roads in Central Florida. We would go and take a ride to get lunch or just take a ride around the back roads and cruise. So I still have my street tires on here. Now these are 80/20 tires. I think they're Zincos. I had them up in Tennessee and rode the Doe Mountain Preserve with them, and they did pretty well, but it was all really dry up there. It was dry but rocky terrain. These street tires don't work so well when it's wet or slippery. The treads just load up quick and they don't have any traction, so I think I'm going to switch over to my off-road tires pretty soon. I have a pair of Dunlop 606s sitting in the hangar, and I also like the Tractionator the Bearded Grump's been running, so I might try a set of those. The first few miles, once we hit the gate on the way in, were okay. The road was pretty high. There were some tire ruts, but they weren't holding any standing water, and you could pick your path for the dry ground in between or in the ruts if needed. Once we got about a mile in, we came to the first big mud hole. Didn't look so bad, but Dave went ahead and went first.
Couldn't see that shit at all.
All right, my turn. Let's do this.
Oh, I'm down. Yeah. Get in the water. Right in the.
Well, we decided to go ahead and walk the rest of the way into the campsites. There are a few dispersed campsites out here. It's very remote. You have to get permission to use the area. You pay for a day pass. I think Dave paid online so we could get in here. The campsites are really, really nice. Really nicely cleared out, shaded with oak trees. There are a few picnic tables and a couple of fire rings out there. Looks like a really, really desolate and secluded place to take our first camping trip. We have some cooler weather coming in, so if we have a few days without rain, we should be able to get in and out of here a little bit easier. Alright, now it was time to get back out of that mud hole that we drove through to get in here. Super Dave went first. I recorded him with my new drone. I just picked up the new DJI Mini Pro 4. It's pretty amazing. I think it's going to help the videos a lot, add some great content. Dave did a really good job. He had a good save there and made it through. Okay, now it's my turn. Let's see if we can make it back through this with my street tires. I come from dirt bikes, and the thing with dirt bikes is if you get in trouble, you power out. Well, I can tell you that power out or throttle out doesn't work if you don't have any traction. This wet stuff was just like ice, and I spun around and did a complete 180 Ended up pointing in the opposite direction, but I made it.
I just don't know which way to go. That bitch started going.
Well, anyway, we made it out of the mud hole from hell and headed back toward the gate. It was about a mile back to the main road, and that was all pretty decent terrain. We were able to pick the dry spots and made it out without a problem. I really learned a lesson about my tires. I really shouldn't be riding off-road with street tires. I was able to get away with it up in Tennessee, but I was lucky because that was all dry. So we're going to be coming back here in about a week. We have some cooler weather coming, and that ground will probably dry up pretty quickly, we hope. So we're going to try our first moto camping trip. This will probably be the spot, so I'll make a video of that. This was a good test run. It was a way to try out our equipment. When you're trying to make a decent video of everything, that adds a whole nother level of equipment and setup, and I was just learning what camera mounts work and which ones don't. So we had a nice, safe, uneventful ride home. Ended up being about a 144-mile round trip. So thanks for coming along, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Midlife Adventurers out.